Adults of Reddit, what is something that sucks about being an adult that most teenagers don't realize? You can do whatever you want. But most of the time you either have commitments that prevent it, or you can't afford it. You can do whatever you want but you don't feel like it anymore. Open bracket. You are always cleaning the kitchen. Dishes, dishes, dishes. I feel like doing dishes never ends. A $1,000 paycheck isn't nearly as exciting as an adult. I remember getting a $650 paycheck when I was 15 and thinking, why do I need to go to high school anymore? I can just keep doing this lol. There's never enough time for all the things you need to do. Definitely not enough time for the things you want to do. I would add to this that even if you had the hours in the day, you still won't have the time because it takes energy and motivation to do things, and sometimes you just don't have enough of that either. It's really annoying how much time is involved with food. As a teenager you don't really have to think about food much. But as an adult you have to shop for food and prepare it. You can eat at a restaurant, but that will get old after a while assuming you can afford frequent dining out. My whole day is food. Breakfast for the kids. Snacks. Lunch. Snacks. Dinner. Meal planning. Grocery shopping. Making lists of things we need. For someone on a diet it is torture to constantly be consumed with food. You come home from work and you're tired, and if you don't feel like making dinner, then you're not eating dinner. Unless you have kids too. Then you have to make dinner. And be in an upbeat mood. Even though everything sucks. When something goes wrong or something unexpected happens, there's no one else to deal with it. Plugged toilet? You gotta clear it. Car out of gas? You gotta fill it. Run out of clean undies? You gotta do laundry. From small things to massive things, there's no one to make it go away but you. This didn't fully hit me until I had to clean a massive amount of puke out of the shower because I took a shower while I was sick and just absolutely lost my guts. Being a kid, someone else would have cleaned that up for me because I was sick. But as an adult, with a crazy high fever feeling absolutely terrible, I had to get on my knees and clean it up. There was no I don't feel good excuse. No someone else can do it, I had to clean it up or it would get even more disgusting and clog my pipes. Even though February is the shortest month, the rent is still the same. Yeah, but if you're salaried the paycheck doesn't have to last as long. I make like 10% more per day in February. Being lonely. Making friends as an adult is difficult. Sometimes verging on impossible. You don't see people in your age group who are doing the same things you are every day anymore. Yeah. And it doesn't get better. I'm 46. My wife is really my only friend anymore. I have people I still keep in contact, but there's no one I really hang out with anymore or go do things with. I have some work acquaintances that I do things with sometimes, but the days of a true friend are pretty much over. Good thing my wife and I get along well. Edit. I should clarify. First, thank you for the advice everyone. I'm sure some people can use this, but second, I never said I'm unhappy with my situation. My wife and I get along very well and I love my life. I was merely commenting that finding friends that are worth your time gets harder as you get older. Not that I'm depressed about it or desire to fix it. When all the cliches that used to piss you off start making sense and meaning something, but you can't explain it to younger people because they haven't lived that life experience yet. You'll understand when you're older. Pissed me off so much when I was a kid. Now that I understand it, I'm even more pissed off that I say this. You know, all those things you thought you would do when you were out on your own? They cost money. And you have to work for it. Aside from sleep, lol. Saturday rolls around and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna sleep in. 7 AM and my body is like, okay, that's enough for you, time to do laundry. I miss being a kid and sleeping till noon. Dental care. It's so damn expensive if you let your teeth degrade. Please floss my dudes. Edit. My mother has worked in dental for over 30 years and comes home with horror stories. Stop talking out your asses. I met someone on Tinder who seems extremely nice and attractive, but their teeth are absolutely rotted and their breath smells like decay. I'm willing to help them find ways to get cheap dental cleanings through like the local dental hygienist college or something, and helping to supply them with toothbrushes, toothpaste and floss. But I have no idea how to broach the subject. Forgetting your age is a real problem. The only people who remind me how old I am are my kids. And I often have to double check. I used to ask my parents how old they were and they always can't remember or said 21 and it confused me. I get it now. This happens to me too so much that when I genuinely forget my age, people think I'm doing a bit. This year, on my 26th birthday, I had a couple minutes of terror because I thought I was turning 27 even though I was sure it was probably 25. The repetition makes you lose time. Having the same job, workout regimen, schedule in general makes days blend into one another. Edit. Autocorrect. Should have said workout instead of without. Bland to blend. Regime to regiment. To regime. My god. Did I spell anything correctly? Edit. Thanks for all the replies. I just want to point out I didn't mean life becomes boring. I was just talking about lack of those major separators we had as children, like summer vacation, new school, your first kiss, etc. Due to those major separators missing, I don't recall if I did something a year ago or 3 years ago. It's a little blurry if something happened 2 weeks ago or 4 months ago. This is because once you have a career and a home, you're doing a lot of similar things most days: work, chores, cooking, hobbies, etc. This is why the days start to blend into one another, at least in your memory. You're at a time in your life when you see your friends almost every day at school. That should be cherished, because it's vastly simpler than maintaining friendships as you enter adulthood and you don't have that constant contact. Life as an adult is change. Most of it outside of your control. People change. Circumstances shift. All of that work you put into your adult friendships can vanish in an instant. And you just have to adapt and move on. This is why I'd go $20K in debt for college again. Your entire life is people your own age, living in the same place, for 4 years. It's not comparable to anything else. I'm a decade out now and still miss that aspect of it. People are just down for spontaneous plans. When you're 30, it takes an act of God and 2 months planning to get more than 4 people together. And I say this as a lucky person who still has a wide social circle at age 30. I can't imagine moving to a new city at this age and trying to make new friends from scratch. You can count your friends on one hand and most of those have been grandfathered in. It's not just that it's more difficult to make friends, but you're also less willing to keep people in your life that don't add value. Hit 30 and you'll be ready to light some bridges on fire. For me, it's watching my parents get old. As a teenager, I thought they were all about keeping me restricted and controlled. Now I realize they're just 2 people who never had a kid before, did the best they knew how, and f'd up at times like all other humans on the planet. I never realized how much I needed them emotionally until I saw my father through his open heart surgery, and saw Parkinson's take my mother's independence. So here I am, still feeling like a teenager on the inside, staring down the barrel of 50. Wondering what the hell happened. Discipline is very hard to maintain when you are lacking purpose. When you are a teenager, there's so much you think you can achieve. I'll get into that college. Double quote. I'll get that degree. Double quote. I'll land that cool job after. Double quote. I'll date that person who will fulfill me. Double quote. But what happens when those things fail? And you have to readjust. And the idea of progress turns into an idea of just a sustainment? My advice to teenagers as you enter adulthood: the most important thing you need to work towards figuring out as you enter into early adulthood is your purpose. It can change over time, of course, but never be without it. Always prepare for the worst. Keep seeing more people that fought hard for their dream job. Now they are miserable. My dad lucked the FCK out by not taking his dream job. He loves cars and was offered his dream job at Ford when he got out of college. He toured the place and saw how specialized it was and realized he couldn't possibly stand out and would have been bored in a week. He took an engineering job at a much smaller company for less pay but had a much larger variety of things to do and made much more of an impact on the company. Fast forward to today and he has a business job as the president of a section of a company that makes parts for missiles and planes. He loves what he does and never thought he would be where he is now. TLDR. Dad got offered dream job. Toured the place and hated it. Took other job and is now in unexpected, well-paying business job that he loves very much. Your dream job isn't always it. The importance and scarcity of time. Your you time gets seriously reduced as you get older and your other responsibilities mount up. I used to think that spending half an hour cleaning 3 times a week was the worst thing ever. Now I spend about an hour cleaning pretty much every day. Between work, maintaining a house, and raising kids, the amount of you time gets reduced to minutes a day. Anything else you want to do means sacrificing sleep. The other thing is how true time equals money actually is. Simply existing and breathing costs money. Food, rent, bills, transport cost money. Often the difference between happiness and unhappiness for me was comfortably making it to my next paycheck. I swear when I was a teenager I could eat absolute garbage and stay slim because I was just naturally active throughout the day. Now being an adult I'm fat as FCK because after a full day at work and other adulting responsibilities it's so hard to get the motivation to work out. I was never a slim guy, 6 feet 4 inches stocky build. But I hit my 30s and started to realize I really put on some weight. Went in for a not so annual physical and the doc got my case about my weight and my blood sugar, saying I'm pre-diabetic. Spent the last year working to make serious changes to my diet. I'm losing the weight but man it's hard compared to when I was a teen. By the time you're 30 you are going to be lucky to see whatever close friends you have left more than a couple times a year. And it's considered normal. And when you see them, their significant other and or kids are probably third wheeling it. 2. You don't fundamentally change. You are still you. Even if you are older. It's the same you. You just need to survive in the adult world. You don't gain adult powers. You just have to do adult things. And the time goes by so fast. You feel like you just turn around. A few weeks go by and you're in your 30s. It's like you're older than you're ready to be. Before you can adjust. All the time. Asterisk. You will be held accountable. No excuses. No blaming. I have an annoying 16-year-old living in my house that blames me for everything bad in his life. He gets mad when I tell him that he needs to do something. I tell him that he can get mad but he will still have to do it. I try to tell him that I am not his problem. I'm just reminding him to take care of his responsibilities. He hates me. Money adds up quick. You see something cheap that you want as a teen and think it's only $5. Yes, it is only $5. But when the end of the month comes, all those only purchases add up really fast. I'm starting to learn this now. I'll look at my credit card bill at the end of the month and I'm shocked at how much it is. Then I look at my transactions and see most of them are $10 here, $7 there, $8 here. Like I 100% did this to myself. I really need to do a better job of checking my credit card statement every day and refraining from buying things I don't need. You can't just quit your job if you don't like it. Also, when going on interview after interview, employers don't care about how well you did in school or what your hobbies are. Waking up and just aching for non-discernible reason other than having slept a bit funny. Oh. And the 3-day hangovers that make it barely worth drinking more than a couple glasses of wine. Fuck. I always thought my dad was joking about taking all weekend to recover from a Friday night party. I'm 31 now and nope. Multi-day hangovers are definitely a thing. The days of being able to get mad f-ked up and go to work the next day with no problem are long gone. Life is long and complicated. You can never truly get a fresh start. Things wear you down over time. And you just get so tired. Getting excited about things is hard. And when you're an adult and you get excited about something, there's usually another adult in line that is ready to tear you down for it. Just because they're shitty and the only thing they get excited about these days is shitting on others. Coming home from work and still work at home. Goddamn, am I ever glad that I'm paid hourly and not on salary. I finish work at 2 PM. If my phone rings at 1 PM I send it straight to voicemail. And I don't listen to the voicemail until I'm back at work the next day. You want me after hours? FCKU. Pay me. 48 here. Bills don't stop or go away. Ever. Work sucks. That's why they pay you to do it, because nobody's doing that bullshit for free. Think of it as a means to your life and avoid it becoming your identity. The term work-life balance is HR code for we own you. You're at our disposal 24/7/365. Nobody owes you a damn thing and ain't nobody gonna give you nothing for free. They're much more likely to try to take what you have. If not married. We're pretty sexually promiscuous and don't always adhere to the strict rules that we put on you, except that we're generally better with birth control and usually more fastidious about STD status. You can choose one of two paths, shitty life now or shitty life later. The one thing I'd change about everything is to choose the shitty life early on. Living life or YOLO or whatever you kids say when I was in my 20s came with consequences that persisted for decades and will likely render me unable to ever retire. Time accelerates. 40 is but a blink away. So seize the opportunity you have today because it'll be gone in an instant.